Oh, good morning, church. I scribe the words that the Lord has given me. I haven't had any dreams, not really, for a good month. And I haven't scribed for a month. What's been happening in my walk is, you could say I've been led on a internet gold trail of sites, channels, and I've been trolling. Trolling is not what you would think. The Lord had me troll and bring his wisdom to some situations, and it's difficult to know why. I'm not happy with that ministry, but I keep coming before God, and I've been wondering why and what sort of breakthrough will be at the end of it. Now, I am going to link Mike 444, who summed up what the Lord's done in the last 3 days in terms of bringing the 3 days of darkness back to his prophets and watchmen. So God has an agenda, and he's pressing this agenda forward again. So I'm going to link that, and he's been faithful to actually, he is hearing, and he has in that post all that you need to know, and what this dream that the Lord gave me this morning as a message to the church. I thought I'd be writing the dream, but instead I scribed it. So the dream and interpretation is in one, in the way the Lord has had me scribe it. Pay careful attention to every word. Now, I can't do a Southern American accent, but when I first started, I could hear the Holy Spirit speaking as I was writing, and my voice was it was a Southern American, and I just feel that, which I haven't added in the scribed word. It's an American, it's a picture of America, the Civil War. The Lord commended Rick Joyner and Chuck Pierce. They are, I'm going to say this, they're going to sit this one out. But there is gold in their testimony. You need to look with the Lord God's eyes, because those that are his, he knows who they are. And a point that I needed to make, that the Lord led me to make when I was looking at a commenter, a religious spirit, which confirmed and brought me full circle to what the Lord showed me about those two men. And the reason why it confirmed them to me, and the Lord drew me to that comment, was because in a 4-line comment, she attacked both of them both those men in the one comment. Why was that? Because it's all in plain sight. The enemy broadcasts in plain sight, and those who are spiritual, led by the Spirit, hear the Lord's voice in it. Because all things work for good. Even the church that misses it, the Lord works for good. So I'm pleased. That encourages me. The word's encouraging. Here we go. Oh, and it's going to start raining. I'm tired of religious spirits telling me that there's rain, you can't hear, or speak up. But they miss the message, and all they do, they complain about rain. They complain about wind. They complain about spelling mistakes. They miss the truth of God because they live by the flesh and not by the Spirit. I'm dreaming. This is my word. But the church doesn't know it. You know, I'm thinking in a Southern American voice while I'm scribing. This is Confederate. This is a war inside itself. This is insurrection. I don't care who the players are. It's an insurrection. In this dream, I didn't get a gun. I asked for one, but I didn't get one. You only have handguns, I said, and I was allowed to shoot one once. I was allowed one once. But you all shuffle down. What do you call it? A duckout? It's a picture of an army. Yeah, it's a war scene. It's not a real army. Just civilians. And not real weapons like Rambo. Just black handguns. You lot seem to have been given guns and had training. You sit crouching in groups. I don't have to go far, and I find some of you. You stand straight-faced and serious. I stand straight-faced and serious. But it's like I'm a kid. And it goes to say that I don't have a gun. Nor do I have protection. I'm irrelevant. I'm inconsequential. I'm just here, and it's light. There is a road like a rectangle in the shape of a football field, but only bigger. It's a domain. I know this because I walk up the left side road. Yes, the left side road. The left-hand path. This church that's crouched with guns waiting for the war are in the corner on the left-hand path. But I don't walk up this road until I ask you lot. I ask you lot for a weapon. None of you care. None of you think you need me. None of you think of anything but ducking out, being at the ready, I say. This is what I say. Sorry, I didn't read that well. Being at the ready. I say, as soon as one of you is shot, I get your gun. But then I'm just walking away. I'm thinking, well, I walk around. I'm thinking, well, I walk around and there's still light. The enemy hasn't started yet. He hasn't started yet. He hasn't arrived. I don't know where he's coming from, but I have a picture like an elevator that opens and out they roll. But it could be anywhere around this field that this elevator drops out. Looking around now, I see the odd tree and scrub, but it's basically short ankle height grass. No cover. No cover. I see a van and a camper in front on this road. It must be getting down to sunset because it's slightly dark, but there is no sun. It's cloudy. I don't see the sun. I think the enemy could be in this caravan. The enemy could be in this caravan, but it's not. It just goes past. This is the last of the caravans that can't have got the message that there was a war that was to begin. It was a war that was to begin here at this holiday camp. Time had gone by and I realized I'd walked so far that if my enemy appeared, I would have no one to see full to take their gun. So my first plan was irrelevant now. I was too far away. I couldn't get the gun even if I wanted to. I looked around and I had nowhere for cover. And then I realized the plan all along. The plan of the enemy all along was to wait till dark to attack. I suppose everyone knew this now. The army that I'd walked away from. I suppose everyone knew this now. They had waited so long, it must be dark for them too. Or going dark. So the cover doesn't matter anymore. It's dark. There's those trees and scrub, but that doesn't matter because it's dark. But they can see in the dark, this enemy, but they can see in the dark. And we have shit weapons. It's dark. The likelihood that we have a problem, Houston, is definitely on the cards. Then I list numbers 1 to 4. For one, we're talking problems. They can come from nowhere. That's that elevator. For 2, they are not a team. Sorry, we are not a team. This is the church I left. And training has been ignored for me. Not everyone is armed. I represent the bride. Training has been ignored for me. And then 3, there is no cover. We have nowhere to go to get cover. And we are in, this is the church I left, and we are in one group leaning against some walls. What if that's where they come in? What if that's where they come in? Then that's it. We're all huddled in one place. I'm the only one who's walked away. And I am now too far away to grab one of those stupid guns. And then lastly, 4, the 4th problem. The enemy is not coming in a stupid vehicle like I thought with those caravans. It's not coming in a charge like from a far end charge. Like the battles, like I mentioned, like a civil war in the start, the battle plan where they charge from one end. We don't know whether we're in a strategic place because there is no strategy. So it's not coming in a charge from the far end. We're not in the furthest place from where it's going to come. It's just going to drop in. We don't know from where they are coming from because they come in that elevator that just appears. It's dark now. This is important. It's dark now, and I know they come in the dark. Now, I'm not a smart man. From that movie, Tom Hanks. I'm not a smart man. The Lord keeps saying that. It's a message for the church. I'm not a smart man. But I know what love is. I'm not a smart man. But I'm guessing they have better weapons that they can see in the dark. And they have the element of surprise when we have no cover. So that's the church. So that's the bride. The only ones who are anywhere near ready are the ones who haven't and weren't trained by the church. They don't carry a stupid handgun. Those that walk away and know the enemy has a plan to come. and the plan's in the dark, and there's no cover by surprise and with weapons and the ability to see. Not good. The only confidence we can have in this dream one is it is given to the bride. That is the only confidence you can have in this dream, that it is given to the bride. 2, the church's weapons are useless, so it doesn't matter. You're not the church bride. The ones with the weapons are not the church's bride. They are not the Lord's bride. But you know, they are your team bride. You know that they are your team. How do we know they are our team? Because they are not the enemy. In this dream, they are not the enemy. They're in our team. That's the only good thing about the church in this dream. But there's hope in that. You, the bride, you won't forget them when you go away. Of course you'll go back when God meets you on that road. You'll go back and you'll equip them. And God will meet you on that road. He knows the status quo. Because you dream. That you know that He knows because you dream. Just like the Lord said, this end time generation, He will pour out dreams and visions. We have assurance that He knows the status quo, the state of the church, because we dream. And that you are led away. That you are in the wilderness, set apart. Now, I really, really felt grief about the church when I was writing this. Not training, equipping the children. But I know now that's a good thing. They were always meant to offer protection with weapons from somewhere else. So the church didn't equip or give everyone weapons, but it's a good thing because, like I said, the Lord has shown me they're useless. It was in His will. And this church was always meant to offer protection with weapons from somewhere else. Somewhere else is heaven. I know this bothers you, doesn't it? You think you've received your weapons. You think you've received your armor. It can't be a true dream. We aren't useless. Every good thing comes down from the Father. Your weapons have not come down. You have heard about them, but not received them. If you had, you would have shared them with the ones I have chosen. Yes, you're called to be in the army, but not chosen. Man does not choose the rank, position, or foretell the destiny of God's army. God does. The only good thing to take for you, the church, is you're in the army and you know there's a war coming. Now you know it will be dark. Dark when it happens. That's when you will seek me, when you see how hopeless it is, how useless you have been. You need to know the truth, because I resist the proud. some of your ranks are out there without weapons, without your useless weapons. And they are the remnant. They are my glorious church. That is what will come back and bring light to the battle. I am the Lord your God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and I will build the church, and the gates of hell will not prevail against it.